A ver, digan.
Okay.
Good morning, everyone. The reason for this video is to create a debate around 7 questions about 9/11. Rise in the rubric and evaluation give for tax 2 of the intermediate course. The debate will be developed by 5 students of the course which are.
Hi, I'm Vivian Daniela Tapia Rojas. I live in Oporapa, Huila.
Hi, my name is Sebastián Argote. I live in Pitalito, Huila.
Hi, my name is Daniela Lemos.
Hello, my name is Maria Yulady Cuellar. I'm 25 years old and from Salado Blanco, and I live in this zone municipality.
Hello, my name is Auraneli Burgos and I live in Salado Blanco. Before starting the debate, it is very important to know what is around the numbers. In fact, it is 9/11 and what happened on September 11, 2001. On September 11, 2001, the United States faced one of the largest terrorist attacks in its history, leaving almost 3,000 dead, where 2 planes collided against the Twin Towers of the U.S. World Trade Center. A first plane crashed into the North Tower, and a few minutes later, a second plane collided with the sub tower, reducing them to only debris in a few minutes. That same day, a third plane involved in the attack crashed into the Pentagon in Washington, and the last plane involved in the incident hit Pennsylvania without achieving goal, leaving hundreds of people dead. The crashed plane were hijacked in mid-flight by subjects who were not identified and whose trajectory was diverted toward the objective so that their signal was not captured by the eye radars. Only a few minutes before the tragedy happened.
Okay, next, we will start with this debate. Question number 1. Could the US Air Force be... sorry. Could the US Air Force have prevented the attacks? Vivian.
Not really the first attack. Nobody knew what could happen, but I think you should have alert and that the Air Force understood that it was a terrorist act. The Air Force had to be motivated and watch for another suspicious move like what was the second plane that collided in the second twin tower. It is also said that the mother of the Osama bin Laden had heard of the new attack after the one that occurred in 1993.
Okay. For me, I think that if these attacks could have been avoided since the radars in the control towers could detect the planes that were hijacked by the terrorists, then the Americans could have ordered on them to take off. Their planes intercepted and shoot down these planes, and this tragedy would have been avoided. Okay.
Taking into account that the radar lost the signal of the aircraft in some instances, do you think that the 5 minutes in which the attack took place would have been more than enough to stop the terrorist attack.
No, because at that time the terrorists had deactivated the radars and they could order the takeoff of the Air Force planes. But it was difficult to find the hijacked planes to shoot them down and avoid those tragedies.
Okay, guys, I would also like to comment on this question asked by the company Aura. I believe that the United States has enough technology to use it, other means to detect such aircraft, not only by means of radar, but they also have to suspect that for high that planes were already a lot of coincidence.
Okay, I do not think society planes they use were public servers, and although they had everything monitored, it is difficult to predict what will happen, bearing in mind that there are many planes that travel from one place to another. You say that this tragedy could have been avoided by demolition the planes. But would not it have also been a tragedy to shut down the planes with innocent passengers inside?
Yes, the true. It is good to be another tragedy, but for them it was more favorably because in that tragedy more people die. With the fall of the twin towers for them was an option, but it is end it could not be done since it was not they could detect the planes.
I think not, because there were no studies before the attack. Nobody expected something similar or prepared for an event of this magnitude. I think that the Air Force was not prepared to prevent this attack because initially it was planned to do a simulation of war and think, and I think that this exercise was planned to divert the eyes to another angle and be able to carry out the terrible attack. I also believe that losing the signal of the planes on the radar is what almost impossible to detect. What they wrote would be, and for this, it was impossible for the Air Force to stop the attack.
Although the United States Air Force has a great technological power that could have helped them to detect and prevent this attack, they could not do anything since the main author of this attack had planned and started previously from all point of view. But there are also several hypotheses. For example, there were people infiltrated inside the towers that helped to commit this violent act, or also that President Bush has been an accomplice of this act. However, this was never known with certain.
Okay. Question number 2. Were the twin towers deliberately demolition by explosives? Vivian?
The tower were not demolished with explosives. Well, when the planes crashed, it generated an explosion due to the fuel it had. The affected floors were collapsed and the structures of the twin tower could not stand and finally collapsed, causing a lot of more death.
Okay. For me, no. The towers fell with the impact of the two planes. That's enough for the towers to collapse, and unfortunately, many people die from the attack. Uh, why do you think that the twin towers we shot down with explosives? It's not, if not with the crash of the planes?
Okay, guys, Sebastian, because a plane crash was not enough to knock down a building of such great magnitude in such a few minutes. In addition, the twin towers collided from the boron that corroborates that in their bases they have previously put explosive.
Okay, I do not think so, because way a plane of that size crash with the twin towers and with the fuel that it had, it was enough for it to explode and the buildings to collapse.
Do you think that terrorists tricks to aircraft passengers about having bombs inside the plane were true?
I do not think they had bombs. I think they say it to intimidate the passenger.
I think so, because a single plane would not have the effect that caused this impact. I think the planes were loaded with explosives that after the impact would end up weakening the infrastructure of the tower, and the explosives to be detonated along with the flammable material. But the plane on the tower were the cause of the collapse of the tower in such a short time.
Aura, if you think there were explosives, why should an international airline have explosives in its plane? Remember, the impact caused the engine to explode.
I believe that it will not be the airline responsible for the explosives, rather than the plane was already structured so that the plane was loaded with explosives by the flight hijacks.
Okay, guys. Of course, the reason why the towers were demolished was due to the explosive implanted beforehand in the building. I believe that the impact of the aircraft and the result fires could not have weakened the building enough to initiate a catastrophic collapse, and that the building have collapsed completely and at the speed.
Okay, partner. Question number 3. Were some people forewarning about the attacks? Vivian?
No, of the attack. I was want to make part of a plane that was hijacked. After the massacre, everyone was aware of what was happening. They knew they were at go back. Unfortunately, they did not.
Okay, for me, the truth that nobody knows about this attack towers the Twin Towers was surprising, but there were suppositions due to the disappearance of the commercial airplanes.
Okay, yes, of course. After the first attack, some relatives or friends warned those in the second towers, but the answer they got was to continue working.
Okay, my partner, Hood Warner, the Americans of the attacks on the Twin Towers and the Pentagon?
The people who were inside the towers, and obviously not all died instantly. People who were in different floors were alive and called their relative to worry about the attacks when they realized that assurance it was a terrorist attack.
I think that during the brief period of time when the attack was triggered, nobody managed to be warned. Even the occupants of the planes did not know what their destination would be, because according to the calls made to their relatives before the impact, they didn't know where the hijack were going on the flight.
Actually, these were surprise for everyone. However, they were a slight suspicion due to the hijacking of different commercial aircraft. But despite all this, when the Air Force realized it was too late and the damage was done.
Okay, question number 4. Was the Pentagon really hit by an airplane? Vivian?
Effectively, the Pentagon was hit by planes the Flight 77.
Okay, for me, it have plane that was also hijacked by the terrorists collide with the Pentagon. This plane would go to the Los Angeles, California, but it went to the Pentagon as part of the attack since it was the terrorist's second objective apart from the Twin Towers.
Yes, I do not think there is any doubt about it since it is evident in what we have seen since the plane crashed directly.
During the attack of September 11, there were 4 planes involved in the attack. One of them actually collided with one of the sides of the Pentagon, causing serious damage to the infrastructure and causing many deaths.
In fact, there were 4 planes that were kidnapped by these terrorists, and it was the terror that hit the West facade that belonged to the Pentagon. This is what the official version said. However, there are so many hypotheses regarding this attack, as for example, that is was a missile that actually hit this building and managed to shut it down in second. I think that it had been in airplane, high that radar would have detected it.
Okay, question number 5. Could the attacks have been prevented? Vivian?
I don't believe Osama bin Laden had waited for the United States and was not going to start his revenge.
Okay, for me, I would think that it could have been avoided due to everything that was happening with the hiking of these planes. I needed more prevention from the Air Force so that they could cross the planes and avoid this tragedy.
You could say yes, but it is difficult to put yourself in the situation because if you avoid another attack, you put the life of the passenger at risk. So I do not know what to think.
I think so because through the islands, it would have been possible to get suspicious person or materials that went against airline police as flammable or explosive products. In addition, the calls would have been intercepted or some plans would have been implemented control a possible attack. Although they had planned to do a simulation of war, the alarm should be on before this eventuality.
I think that it is could have been avoided since the hijacking of the airplane was an indication that something big and bad was about to happen. In this way, the armed forces would have prevented this plane from reaching their objective.
In my point of view, it was very difficult to see them attack prevent and knocking down the plants would not have been effective.
Okay, question number 6. Was Osama bin Laden really captured and killed? Vivian?
According to the United States in 2011, he was killed.
Okay,
Sorry. Okay.
for me, Osama bin Laden was the mastermind of the terrorist attacks on the Twin Towers when the Pentagon and the US government carried out an operation of assassin. Bin Laden with was a success for the United States Army. Okay, my partner Vivian. How was the operation to find Osama bin Laden and end his life?
The Pakistani authorities confirmed that bin Laden died in Pakistan in a clash with the US military.
Of course, the government of the United States gave an order not used to capture it and leave it alive, but and it immediately as the main cause of the terrorist attacks.
He was not really captured after the American CIA studies and long years of search. They managed to find the house where Osama bin Laden family was staying 10 years later. Around 2011, the Special Force of the United States entered the house of the family and ended the life of the most hated man in United States.
Okay. According to the United States, Osama bin Laden was murdered on May 2, 2011.
Okay, question number 7. Was 9/11 caused by the American government or purpose? Vivian?
I don't think so. The 9/11 was revenge on the part of the Arab terrorists. Suddenly, if they proved that it happened.
Okay, for me, I think that at that time the United States provoked many of their enemies with the power they had. That is why they attacked the Twin Towers and the Pentagon to strike and blew in that state. But I think the attack was not a boy for the Americans.
I do not think so, but I know that many people believe it. I think it was a work of two different cultures, where there was a lot of bitterness and sadness, and that's why everything happened in the worst way.
Due to the way things happened and the perfect development of the mission, I think it was planned by the United States government itself because the plan didn't have any inconvenience and apparently all the actors fulfilled the role they had played. In addition, the simulation that was played was only a facade for all. Focus their eyes on him and people within the government could carry out the macabre plan.
My partner, I have question. Why would the US government have reason to destroy even financial center that were the Twin Towers?
The reasons aren't known. Some people deduce before the perfection of the plan that this could have been carried out in complicity with some of the people close the U.S. government. That is why it was not possible to give prior notice of the situation.
For me, there are many theories that point to what was personally caused by the United States government, but not by the president, but by the militaries and that working for him. However, I think it was more revenge of the part of the Arab terrorists.
Thank you very much, everyone, for a happy day.
Thank
Okay, guys.
you.